Welcome to Potter Familias, coming to you from Fairhope, Alabama.
I'm Todd Sylvester.
And I'm Stephen Sylvester.
I have been known to be a little over the top
Just a little?
with certain things.
Yeah,
things.
he's a little over the top, guys. Let's get him a t-shirt.
A little over the top.
Just a little. Nobody's ever said more than a little.
Captain Overkill.
Yeah.
So I made this rosary. Was it last year? It's got stainless steel beads.
The one you can kill people with?
Yes, and it had the psycho paracord. You know, you can pick up a car with it. But since I spin the beads while I pray it, it's been fraying the paracord. So over about, I don't know, every 4 months I have to restring it.
Dang,
Well,
you're breaking through paracord?
Yeah, I know. Again,
Jeez.
Well, I'm ADHD, so I'm hyperactive. I move a lot.
Yeah.
And so this last time when I broke it, I was like, I'm sick and tired of restringing this rosary. So then I thought maybe I can do the chain thing in there. But when you do the loops, it was going to be super long.
Right.
So then I thought, I'm just going to put stainless steel cable.
Oh, no, because if that frays, it'll, cut you.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to fray because it's 1/16 of an inch stainless steel.
Oh, my gosh. Seriously?
With ferrules on there. And
oh, my gosh.
it's a little, yeah.
I didn't think you could go more intense than you already had.
Yeah. It's a little.
Wow.
I'll show it to you later.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see, for real.
It's kind of, I'm hoping that it loosens up because it's a little stiff right now. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's gonna break.
Yeah, I'm curious. Because I thought paracord was like, oh man, he's reached insane levels, but this is a whole different thing.
I did, in fact. Many of us have a hard time receiving advice from other people.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on who we're getting it from.
Case in point.
Yeah, but there's some people that I really respect, and some people that I love getting advice from.
Yeah.
And their life backs it up. Their words have a lot of weight to it. And I've gotten a lot of advice in my life, some that I haven't taken well, some that made me mad, even though maybe later on I was able to kind of take it in. But what is the best one-line advice that you've gotten in your life thus far?
That's a good question.
And give us the circumstances around it, because I'll have to explain the circumstances of what happened.
Okay, then I'll do mine briefly, because the thing that's coming to mind is my sort of wake-up call to adult reality when I was in seminary.
Okay.
And I've talked about this on the podcast before, but just briefly, it was the conversation that I had with the former rector of St. John Vianney Seminary, God rest his soul, Father Bear. He pulled me into his office after defending me and trying not to let me get kicked out of seminary. I don't know if people we know listen to this podcast, but anyway, I don't care. Who cares? So there was this whole circumstance where I was sort of on the chopping block, and they were going to determine, the bishop and the vocations director were going to determine whether or not I'd be allowed to continue in seminary. And Father Bear came to bat for me, and he made it possible for me to continue studying for the diocese. And then he pulled me into his office and was like, all right, sit your butt down. We need to talk. It condensed down, and the thing that I remember from the conversation, because it was a longer conversation, but I remember vividly him saying, sometimes you need to just put your head down and do the work. And I think about that a lot, because that's good advice for 99% of the situations that I've been frustrated with. Yeah. It's like sometimes you need to just put your head down and do the work. And that encompasses a lot of other things. It means you have to be patient. It also means that nobody's going to do this for you. And it also means that you have to take the initiative. Right. It's like there's a lot of stuff wrapped up in that piece of advice. And it was so profound, because he got really serious with me. Because normally he would joke around all the time with everybody. He was such a joyful man, which was really cool. But he got so serious and got 2 feet from my face. And he was like, sometimes you need to put your head down and do the work. Wow. And he meant be obedient as well, too. Right. So it's like, dang. Right. There was a lot wrapped up in that.
Yeah. That's great advice. That's great advice. I mean, if someone had said that to me also, it'd be like, don't whine, don't complain. Just get your head down and grind it out. Yeah. I mean, that's great advice.
It served me well.
That's awesome.
Even though I most of the time tend not to follow it.
I don't agree with that.
Well,
I don't
okay,
think most of the time.
that's a self-assessment. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I aspire to follow that advice all the time.
Right. That's good. For me, and I've mentioned this before, I struggled with compulsive lying when I was younger.
Yeah.
And it was just something where I started embellishing stories, and probably the deep root is I didn't really like myself, so I thought I had to do those things to make myself more attractive to other people.
Yeah.
And to get a little bit more attention. I'm not sure. There's probably a dissertation in there somewhere. But there was that one time, though, that I got busted, and a person that I respected said, "Stop lying. If you continue, no one will ever believe you."
Mm-hmm.
And it just stuck. I'm not saying that I've never lied from that point on,
Right.
but it really changed everything.
Well,
And it got to a point where I could start saying the 3 little words, "I don't know." I had the hardest time saying those words.
Really?
Because people, and this was remember, this was before the internet.
Oh, so nobody could fact
Right.
check
Couldn't
you
fact
immediately.
check me.
Mhm.
You didn't have Google in your pocket. So I could make things up. 37% of people in Indiana, I don't know, play basketball. You could make up anything.
They're Hoosiers.
Right. And if you said it with confidence,
Then people would be like, "Oh."
right. And it even got to a point where I realized if you say a lie a lot of times, then it adds credibility to it, even though it's dumb.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
How about that?
So then I really got into a point where I'm like, I really love truth.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it so much that it helped my relationship with Jesus,
Yeah.
who is the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeah. That's great advice too.
Because then you can just,
And
you stop.
It applies to more things than you think it does. I'm assuming. You tell me
Mhm.
if I'm wrong about this, but most people, when they think of lying, they think of outright lying,
Right.
right? But it also applies to honesty in general. It's like, how honest are you?
Mhm.
And I don't just mean honest with yourself about what needs to change for you. I mean, how honest are you when people ask for your opinion?
Wow.
Because there's a difference between blunt honesty, which can also be just being mean, and actual honesty, which is if somebody asks for your opinion about something and you don't like it, if you're a good friend, then you'll find a way to tell them that in a way that's
In
not
a gentle way.
right,
Yeah.
that's not going to break their heart. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something I learned through songwriting, through co-writing with other people, is if it doesn't serve the song, this idea that you want to put into the song, if it doesn't serve what you're trying to create, then everyone else is doing you a disservice if they don't tell you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it sucks to tell people, right? It's not fun to be like, "Hey, I don't think this idea works. I don't think that fits." But you can apply that to everything,
Yeah.
you know?
It also helped my perspective of others. And I'm not saying that I'm completely healed of this, but it really helped me to realize where other people might be coming from.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Like to just, when people go, "Well, why would they do that?" I would say, "Well, I'm really not sure.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, I hate what they did. I hate what they said, or I hate the situation that they're in, but I have no idea. I have no idea. Whereas before, I would confidently say, they did this because
it's
they're
because
a jerk.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I would say it so matter-of-factly that 47% of people in Indiana would believe me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm right there with you, you know?
Yeah.
Honesty is difficult.
Yeah.
It's hard to admit when you don't know, and it's also difficult, like I said, to be honest consistently.
Yeah.
Not just in how you receive things or how you express yourself.
And the point of getting this advice, and then even for us to then give advice, is because we want to be better people.
Yeah. So
I want to be a better person.
work hard and be honest.
Yeah. Man, imagine if we really took those to heart.
Yeah.
And if we owned them.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's start tonight.
Okay.
We'll try.
Thanks so much for listening to Potter Familias.
We'll see y'all next time.